Hello. 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 Happy fucking Flitz Friday. Haven't spoken. Ty Ward, thank you so much for the host. What's up, homie? And oh my god, everybody. Exhilarate's here too. Jojo, Panda, Cave Enclave, Syndra, Ashley, Chad Zerker, Scones. Scones dropping 500 bits. Holy bananas. Thanks so much, Scones. My camera looks off again. My cat. Perfect. I have a cat hair in my mouth. That's not good. Hello, everybody. Hello. Are you guys excited? I'm excited. Hubris. Camera's off, cat's on point. My cats are bananas. I need to work out. I need to make a command. Shit, I forgot to make a command. Hold on, everybody. Hold on 1 second. I need to make a... add. Please check out. There we go. I think, did I do it? There we go. We did it. All right. Xenomorph, how's it going? Raptor Claws, hello. Now we gotta make sure everything works. I have no pupils with those bright lights. You have no pupils with those bright lights. Ashy slashy. All right. So, like I said, first off, we're going to get not one, but two guests. And then we're going to talk about I want to say things about it because I have information about it, but I think I'm just going to we're just going to let them talk about this. But first I'm going to bring on Rebekah, who I actually have known for a long time. And we can later, I know some people are going to want to, you can ask her embarrassing questions about me because she has known me for a long time. So, I gotta see if this works. Hopefully we can get this to work. And hold on. I see you. You'll see me on my page. Can you hear me? Okay, good. All right. Let me figure out how to get this to be full screen. Nobody can see you yet. Right. Yeah. All right, you're... I have a handful. They're all lovely. The what? Yeah. Okay, so this is it this one? There it is! You're there. Look, you see me? You have to, so just be sure to mute me on Twitch. Now everybody can see you. Wait, they can't hear you? Oh, they said they can't hear you.
Oh, great. Well, let
Oh,
me
wait,
see.
there we go. No, you're fine. No, now you go back to what it was. It was my fault.
Oh, okay.
It was on my end.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm not going to be able to see you like on video or anything, or can they see you?
You can, if you have my Twitch channel open, you can see me there.
Yeah. It's all black.
It doesn't work very well on phones sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. Just imagine how beautiful I am.
Oh, yes. You are so beautiful. Okay, Okay, so are we getting Mr. Eugene?
Yes. So let me see. All right, so we know that works. So now let me try to get.
Let's screen this. Oh, did I knock myself off?
No, that's me. No, you're good. I'm just trying to figure out how to get somebody else in. Sorry, this is the first time I'm trying to just do this, everybody. Hold.
Okay. Rebekah is offline. Okay, Flitzanu. Is this the first time you've done this, like with video and everything?
With 2 people. This will be the first time with 2 people.
I do.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're on an ad, right?
I'm on a what?
Oh. It's like on an ad right now.
Oh,
Catch Flitzanu ad break. Stick around. That's so pretty cool.
You have to be brave. And
I love this.
We take them out.
So can you see me still or no?
We don't do this.
Yes.
All our people are not.
Okay, because I think it would be cool to like watch myself on the.
Right. Yeah. You could watch me on my stream.
You could watch me on my stream.
You just have to mute it.
You could watch me on my stream. You just have
All right. I think we got him. There he is. We did it. All right, so it should switch. Basically, so it should switch back and forth whenever you guys are talking. Where was this? Here? There we go. I think we did it.
Yeah. It's on such delay.
Magic. I'm
Magic.
so smart.
Sweet.
Awesome. Nice to meet you, by the way.
Hey, nice to meet you, man. I heard a lot about you.
Hopefully it's good.
That was good. It's all good.
And do you go by, what do you go by? Eugene?
EP.
EP.
Yeah.
EP.
Yeah.
All right.
Team Mama.
So we have Rebekah and EP from the upcoming, the just released yesterday film, Strings. And we have a little command in here. So if you guys want to check it out, I've got the website and everything there. So, how about you just want to tell me? Instead of me asking, you just want to talk about it? You want to tell us about the brainchild and tell us where this all kind of started and how it came to be?
Well, that's the perfect question because EP is the brainchild behind Strings. He's actually can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, he's actually the creator of it. He came up with a poem titled Strings, and so that's kind of where it stemmed from. But I'm going to let him go into that.
Thanks. Yeah, so me and Rebekah known each other for a while in the business, and I've always admired her talents. When her first movie came out, I was just I was just astonished by her talents and such. So I would write poetry on the side. You know, as a social media person, you grow your fan base and such kind of sort. So,
Right.
I actually like my poetry as well too. But I came up with this idea where why not make a movie that's like poetic, experimental, but also mainstream.
Right.
So, and it was supposed to be a short film, and like, you know, just put on social media, a series of videos. But then Rebekah thought, oh my God, this will be a nice feature film idea.
Yeah.
And I think that's how it started. And you know, we found the DP Pascal Pliant extraordinaire. She knew him for a while, and it just went from there. You know, we did a 5-man crew, and the story was a short story, like 19 pages, and we extended to like 58 pages.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Mm-hmm. It was 80 pages, but then we cut the fat.
Gotcha. Because it's usually like a page is about a minute of dialogue. Is that usually about right?
It depends. If it's heavy dialogue, it's probably gonna be like 2 minutes. If it's about like a lot of sceneries, you can put in like 30 seconds. You can have a bunch of locations, but that will add on top to the budget.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Oh, did I just break something? Everybody stop moving. Hold on.
I know.
There we go. Got it.
I don't even see, so. Ooh, I like that picture. I don't want to delay. It's funny watching my picture.
Right. Yeah. I was going to say, because if you watch yourself, your mouth's going to be off.
It's messing me up. I'm like, am I like shooting down or something? Anyway.
I have the feed live, so I'm like watching it. Our mouths are so off, trying not to watch.
Yeah, it gets very confusing because you're like, did I say something? What? Like, am I talking? How's it? So how long have you been? I was reading, like, she sent me over a little bit about the background and everything. How long have you been writing poetry and creating?
I guess since childhood. At the earliest I can remember is like 6 or 7 years old.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It was just one of my escapes. I guess one of my escapes as a kid. You know, it was kind of like shy and didn't really have much friends. So, you know, it's one of those artsy people, quiet.
Right.
Oh.
I can relate. This is all fake. This is to mask all the introversion, all the shyness and quietness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All this cool confidence is all an act. No, that's very cool though. And I really, so let me, oh crap. Let me see if I can get to the, I had the little synopsis here.
Oh, okay. That's better than us trying to tell you.
Yeah, I was going to say that way, you know, because I wanted you guys at least, you know, that way you can give me your words and then we'll read okay, so so the synopsis, Kat, who assumedly is played by Rebekah.
Yeah.
Oops, everybody's frozen again. Why does it keep doing this? Let me fix this. Every time I switch, it freezes. There we go. Okay. Maybe.
Yeah, I'm frozen.
Maybe now. Are you moving? I see you moving. Okay. There we go. Okay. Every time OBS is live streaming, man. I'm a professional at this. No.
We have 2 people. Now it's 1.
Yeah. Normally it's like I don't have to mess with screens, but I'm like, I've got so much information I have to look at. I keep tabbing over and stuff, and everything keeps freezing. So Kat, assumedly again played by Rebekah, Kat is an unhappily married housewife who aspires to be a writer. Her research takes her to a bookstore where she meets E, a former best-selling author who seeks new inspiration, which she quickly finds in Kat. They have instant chemistry and are connected through their love of writing and books. Their relationship quickly develops from peers to best friends to business partners. From this relationship, Kat transforms from an aspiring writer to a publisher, helping E find success and a second chance with his collections of poems financed through her wealthy husband. The pair's work relationship intensifies as the two develop feelings that go deeper than friendship, which neither acts upon, causing tension and an eventual severe fallout between them. E refuses to finish the book of poems, causing Kat to send E an unexpected gift the day before her birthday. Now he has to face his inner demons and the agonizing truth about Kat, who has held a secret throughout the entire story. This secret helps E find the inspiration to finish the final poem she demanded from him during their last and final confrontation. That's amazing intrigue, by the way.
Oh, that's a long synopsis.
Reading the end of that, I'm like, now I have to know. The intrigue was real with that. And the trailer, I got to watch the trailer, and do you want me to show the trailer? I can show the trailer.
Oh, yeah.
Good.
All right, let's see. I just minimized it again. It's going to screw everything up. Let's see.
That's all right. Screw it up.
All right. Okay. One of these.
That's a nice picture of me.
It doesn't matter how long I wait for you. What matters most is when I get to show you a whole new love that always belonged to you. My love for her is unconditional. And that's where lies the problem. I then realize it's time to let go of what I've tried to hold on to for the longest time. In the end, I was chasing a dream, a beautiful ideal that started in sin. Yet in the end, you still felt so far away.
I can't really hear the sound.
All I had was your beautiful face.
You still felt
With every thought of you trembling in my arms.
Here now?
I can't really hear the sound.
While in the end, death tried to pull me away. A forbidden love, hard to abstain. It doesn't matter how long I wait for you. What matters most is when I get to show you a whole new love that always belonged to you.
So, do we have any demons? Because Chad is bored without his demons.
Sorry, I was muted. Sorry. I was muting myself so you don't hear me vaping. I was like, yeah, because I'm over here like... So I was muting myself. Yeah, it looks beautiful. I mean, the scenery, like it looks great. It really, and I'm not just trying to be nice. Like it looks really good. Like it's very. Tell me about like, did you? I don't even know how to articulate now. It's very.
It's kind of cutting out.
Am I here? It's very it has like a heavy feeling to it, like the way the lighting and everything seems very heavy. Was that intentional?
Yes, dark, deep, dramatic, romantic, sort of feel.
Yeah, like it almost not, it doesn't feel too oppressive, but it has like a very tense feeling to the lighting.
Can you hear him, Eugene?
Yeah. I thought you were gonna take it.
Oh.
I saw you thinking, and I was like, "Go for it."
Well, yeah. Everything's intentional in filmmaking. That's why me and Rebekah, when she told me about Pascal and I saw his work, he did natural lighting, and we just wanted to make it so dramatic. The story itself is dramatic. It's like moody drama kind of sort. So we needed to make the editing and everything dramatic, moody,
right?
To fit the whole style. So what you saw in the trailer is pretty much what you're gonna see in the whole film.
Gotcha. Yeah, moody is a good word. Very, yeah, because it was like I didn't know, I couldn't find the word that I was looking for, but yeah, moody definitely fits it because it's like it's not oppressive really, but it's very moody, and it's not like you definitely get a sense of the feeling just by the lighting, and it looks a little soft, maybe, and so to me watching that visually, it definitely screams emotion. Just in everything.
Yeah, what I was telling Rebekah about this, and like one of the things that we got some early feedback, and the movie itself is like a poetry itself, like a poetry in motion.
Right.
Like it's open to interpretation. A lot of there's like you get into poetry, so everyone's gonna have something different. And we were just very proud of how it turned out. So when you watch it, your fans might get a different interpretation and such kind of thing. That's the beautiful thing about this movie.
Right.
Yeah.
So now is this the first film that you've created from your writing?
Yeah. So this is my first feature film. This is Rebekah's second, and to have her experience and then our DP's experience. I've always wanted to do a feature film. I think. We got sidetracked in doing other side projects and such. I did other things
right.
other than staying focused in my stories. But Rebekah pushed me to like gosh, we got to start making our own. And just one day I was like, honestly, without Rebekah, it would have been just a short film or a short video online and such. And she pushed it, and I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
Now or never, right?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Well, like he said previously, he wanted to make it into a short film, and I was like, I don't do short films, anymore. I have made a feature film, and that's just kind of like where it's at. And a lot of people get a bit hesitant to do a feature film, kind of like daunting. But I was like, for me, it's my passion. It's easy for me, and he's like, yeah, let's do this. So that's kind of like where it went. And like he said, Pascal Payant is an amazing cinematographer out of Canada, and his stuff is just so stunning. Just such beautiful visuals. And we knew he'd be perfect for this type of film. It's very fast, and he's just a genius, in my opinion. And so it was kind of like a perfect little group we had, and we shot this film. And how many days was it? I think it was about 9 to 10 days we shot this film. And we could have done about an hour and 30 minutes. Like a lot of foreign films, they kind of have a lot of, it's like drawn out,
right,
quiet times and quiet space in between scenes. But what we wanted to do, I guess, with this instant gratification world is we wanted to kind of cut like all the fat and, just put together the best film that we possibly could, where you were just completely immersed and submerged into this film. And, you're not like, oh, okay, wait, swirl, you're very like into it and just watching it. And I don't think much takes you out of it. I mean, when I watch it, I'm from beginning to end, and it's quite emotional too. There's some scenes where you just kind of like want to cry. You have to watch it.
Yeah.
I'll start giving it away if we talk too much. But, yeah.
And if I remember reading correctly, you have a very talented composer for the film as well.
Yes, can't forget about him. Go ahead, Eugene. Why don't you tell him about that one?
Okay.
It's your friend.
Yeah. So hold on, real quick. My cousin's looking. What's up?
Okay, well, I'll talk right now.
Okay, I got it. Okay, so Carlos, I met him in an event. So one of the things I did before was that I used to host like Hollywood events for a friend, and so I met him through that panel. And Carlos is a really great guy. Funny story how we met. He's probably going to be like, "Why'd you tell that story?" But I was assigned to actually. So I kind of like. Me and Rebekah were great producers and great leaders and such. So my friend, he was doing all it by himself. So I decided to step up. and really control like all the guests and everything. And then me and Carlos grew rapport. He looks like Tony Stark, by the way, so that's how we kind of grew rapport with each other. And then it got to a point where like afterwards, you know, it was like, hey, do we take you back to your place, or do you guys want to go out? Oh, let's go out. And then I had the people working for us saying, hey, you guys want to come with us? Cool. So we all came out, partied, kind of sort. I may have had a little bit too much drinks, they say. And history kind of had it like, you know, I was supposed to take him in the morning at the airport. And sorry, Carlos, I'm telling this story, but I missed taking you to the airport. He got an Uber, though. He got back. So ever since then, though, we had a good friendship from there. So we kept in touch. He promised me he would, you know, do a project with me and vice versa. And this is my first feature film, and with Rebekah, and kind of such. It's like, you know what? Why not we have somebody like in this caliber? This guy did like he was an artist for HBO. He did like his music was used in Sex and the City movie. A Fox Empire. He worked on that show as a music producer. I mean, this guy's talent and 20 plus years Baywatch when Jason Momoa was in it too. So it's just like it was kind of cool to have him on board to really like work with us kind of sort, and we were able to get him in. This time. So Rebekah, wanna add more?
Carlos Villalobos is our composer, and he's pretty amazing, and he, you know, just enhances our movie that much more. So it's quite beautiful and lovely, and I'm proud of it. You guys got to check it out.
Yeah, because it was I was going to say when I read what I did, he definitely had, you know, he's like you were saying, he's had a lot of experience on some very high profile things.
Yeah, and it was great watching both him and it was great watching him in action, because, you know, with his experience kind of thing, just watching him compose, and especially COVID. Right. You know, that was one thing that was just interesting. Like he has his own studio set up in his place, so this guy is just multi-talented, knows helped us a lot and very kind-hearted. So we're just very glad that he. Oh, also he's doing an inspired album for strings for us, so that's going to be really good when it comes out.
So speaking of the COVID, how did that affect your production, your shooting, and making the film? If it did at all.
Back.
Okay, so what was that?
with all the. I'm
having to wear with Chad on
here. Are you tussling with Chad Zerker? With the quarantine and everything going on, how did that affect your shooting and production and filming, and like, did it have any major effects on getting everything done?
Okay, yeah. So we actually filmed this last September, and we had initially hired an editor who didn't follow through for us, so we had to fire him. But that put us back about 4 months, because we wanted to release this in the spring. But, you know, that's just how things work. So we hired actually our DP, Pascal Piant. He took this movie on because he knew it like the back of his hand, and he edited it, and it's pretty amazing. And so I think we were in post-production, so that doesn't really affect us at all. I think if anything, it kind of helped us, because a lot of people who were going to be, in post-production, some of their work that they were going to initially work on had to get postponed because of COVID. So they were able to work on our movie and hurry up, and finish it. So we are very fortunate for that. But
that works out then. Yeah, I was curious because right now there's not a lot of movies happening. Like, so
yeah. Moving forward is, we're an indie film maker, indie film producers group. Basically, that means that we only have a skeleton crew working on our stuff. I do 100 jobs.
Yeah.
EP does 100 jobs. And if you go on, because I've been on a CW set before, working with the famed director David Nutter, and there's literally Like I had my own hairstylist, I had my own makeup artist, I had my own, you have like the person hooking up the sounds to you. I mean, there's literally like probably 500 people there on a set, on one of those Hollywood sets. And I kind of think it's a bit too much with a small skeleton crew. What did we have? 4 strings. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I would say like 6 people. Really, that was it as our crew members. And everybody had so many jobs, multitasking, utility knife. That's what we were. And we got shit done. So pretty proud of ourselves. And that's kind of how you work with an indie, film group. And COVID, we can work around that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're actually in the middle of also doing more productions, pre-production on another film, and we had this consistency where we keep it small, and especially with the guidelines in COVID, you can't have more than 50 people, I think, and I think in some cases some try to do around 10. So it's kind of going back to the core of, making these films. You don't need that. The reason why it costs millions of dollars is because they hire too many people. That if you just want to go back to the basics, you don't need like 50 to 100 people on set unless you're making Transformers or some high budget film like Dark Knight or something like that, Right. Yeah.
So do you have, speaking of other movies, do you have inspiration from other films? Do you have genres that you draw from, or do you have...
No, I think it's kind of like we just are creators. Like he said, he's a writer. He's constantly writing poems. We're constantly thinking, in our minds, like what would make a good film. Basically, it is the genre that sells. And so, there's like a handful that kind of are money for faith-based films and human interest pieces. And so we kind of try to, create ideas around that. Or if we have an idea, we kind of think, well, how can we make this into a work? I think we can make anything.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Like for strings, when we did strings, I remember I told Becca the inspiration was a gothic romance because I was reading a lot of books like, oh my God, you don't see much gothic romantic genres or something to that capacity. Whether or not it turned out to be like a gothic romance and such, but that was one of the inspired ideas. And you saw like the graves, I think the trailers and such kind of thing. We wanted to do something very moody, gothic, something very real, passionate, and something forbidden, and something very different. So you just think about all these ideas you want in a movie, and you don't have a studio head. So that's great. You can just do whatever you want.
Yeah. So do you actually, 2 things. So McGloshin in chat says that I need to ask you after the stream how to grow a beard. Because I can't. I don't have the beard growing genes in my body. So thanks, McGloshin. Do you have, as a writer, do you have go-tos that you draw from on that side? Do you have styles or particular authors that you have always enjoyed throughout life? Or
well, first of all, with the beard, I am Asian and Filipino. I'm not supposed to have a beard like this, so I don't know how. I think I got lucky in the genetic coding.
Right.
Or hopefully you never meet any of my family members with their theory because it's outlandish what they say. But inspiration for writing, for me, it's like I've always loved art. It's always, like I said, it's always a great escape. I was a very shy person growing up. I've always escaped with art. Edgar Allan Poe, to like Fitzgerald, to a lot of the classics, and even some to the contemporary. I mean, I love Hunger Games. I guess you can say I have a combination of things, but one of my favorite things about stories is the realism and characters.
Yeah. Can
you relate to the characters, and are the characters real? Are they not fake? And even in those happy kind of stories, it's like I've always been fascinated about what makes something timeless and classic.
Yeah.
And so as Becca knows about me, I'm a very analytical person.
Right.
So I don't know. Christopher Nolan, he's one of my favorite directors. What I like about him is that when you see his stuff and he breaks it down, that guy is like analytical. He will break down in a chart of like, okay, this is why at the beginning, and this is A, B, C. Oh, here's X right here. I'm like, wow.
Yeah. What about H.P. Lovecraft? Are you an H.P. Lovecraft? Are you an H.P. Lovecraft fan? That's a personal. That's more for me. That just makes me curious because I love H.P. Lovecraft.
I would say it's like I have like not heard that in a while either. To this, honestly,
Yeah.
So that's like whoa.
Yeah, I've been a big fan of him, and yeah, you mentioned Edgar Allan Poe. I actually visited his museum, his house that's in Richmond.
That's what we shot.
Yeah.
We shot there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very cool. Yeah, I've always been a fan of Edgar Allan Poe.
Oh my gosh.
Did we just become best friends? I think we did.
Actually, the funny thing is, it's like I told Becca one of the because he had a cat named Katerina.
Yeah.
So I was like, what name don't you hear as much? Katerina, and like what's a really so. I think at the time I was thinking.
And so, ironically, that is my middle name, Rebekah Kathleen. Cat.
Yeah.
It's like the world's telling you. The universe told you that. I think that's the.
Oh, we had so many deja vus making this movie. I don't know if you believe in those sort of things. And I guess we're kind of like weird on that level that we believe in deja vus and we believe in signs. But we had so many whenever we were making this film. So we just knew at that moment that we were on the right direction, the right path. So
Yeah. Are you ready for my pun? It's almost like strings tying you together in the universe.
do you know what the red string actually means? The string situation.
No. Is that part of? Is that a hidden meaning behind the title?
Yeah.
So there's a thing called.
Sorry.
Go ahead. You want to say it?
No, I got my phone to look it up, but you do it.
Well, you have the phone. Just keep that phone just in case I fuck it up. It's the red thread of fate. That was I kind of like love destiny, soulmates kind of sort. Even though I believe in free will kind of sort. So it's like it's one of those things where like, man, imagine some forbidden sense where like your lover is with somebody else, and the red string of fate is actually tying you both, but you can't have that person either. And
Right.
That's what the theory is. Like you are bound, even friendship, you're bound to find each other regardless of how far, how much you guys fight, or you guys don't know each other. You guys will be bound in life to find each other. And there's two legends in Japan or China. It's either in your feet or your pinky, right? Or your toe.
Yeah, okay, so I can read it verbatim. There is one in Chinese and Japanese. It says the red thread of destiny is a belief that comes from an old Chinese legend, also known as the red thread of fate or red string of fate. It means that people who are destined to meet are tied together with an invisible red thread. According to the Chinese myth, the gods tied an invisible red thread around the ankles of a man and a woman who were destined to meet and get married.
Very interesting.
So we kind of play off of that a little bit in the movie as well. That's why it's streams, and we have like a sort of scene that relates to that. You'll have to watch and find it.
Yes, I've heard of that more as because people talk about the soulmates, and then there's also twin flames, which are more akin to it's like one soul has been split into two people, and that they're kind of the same idea that they're destined to find each other. And I'm with you on that. People call bullshit, whatever. No, I'm down with that. I'm into that stuff. I gotcha.
Yeah, I think the one thing that I think I told Becca about this, what was kind of cool is I don't really always believe in destiny either, because I think they go both hand in free will. You got to work for it.
Yeah.
Nothing comes in just to hand it to you. Even relationships or any sort, everything takes work. And I think that's the one thing that you will see in this movie. And you just see in all our movies, I guess, is like you just see the realism of what it's like to be a human, rather than you see it go, oh, that's so Hollywood.
Right.
We hate Hollywood, by the way.
Right. Well, right now it's like what Hollywood,
right? right?
because I don't know what they've I don't, I mean, because it's funny because like I'm very much like a movie file. I don't know what the word is. Like I like movies that are not so digital. Like I love found footage stuff, but I hate like regular movies, like feature films if they're shot digital. Like it just doesn't feel like a movie to me. I don't know. But I like owning media. Like I have a very large DVD collection. I still like to buy books. Like I'm very old school, and like I want to have those tangible things. And so it's, for me, like that's kind of where, that's my escape, is watching media. And it's like right now there's nothing, like, and when will there be with everything going on? Because like you were saying, I mean, when they have crews of 500 people or thousands of people, like they're not going to be able to do that. And one of my friends has been pointing it out. He's like, I'm expecting in the next year it's going to be like a person in their bedroom shooting stuff on green screen, and people are going to be splicing it together into a film. And like those people have never going to, like they're never going to be in the same room together. And it kind of makes me wonder, like what the future of movies is going to be like. Have you thought anything about that? Like what happens with everything going on? I mean, you guys are, like you're saying, you have a small crew, so you're probably going to be good. But like, do you see anything? Do you have any predictions for the future of big Hollywood bullshit films happening?
Well, I think this is, me and Rebekah talked about this. When Hollywood was really getting out of control. There's a lot of things going on in Hollywood that needs to be, actually a lot of people would say, indie filmmakers especially, is like Hollywood needs to go down to reset. There's so much corruption. There's so much, it's like a high privilege to be in it, that if you see this if there can be one silver lining in this, it's that it's changing the game and giving indie filmmakers like us a more opportunity to get those connections, or even with people now looking for streaming, like you said, media. People streaming, people are looking for something new. Now is the time for creators to think creatively and to take advantage of the situation, because I think this is a way for Hollywood to wake up saying, bye, we don't need you. This is our way to break in and make our own Hollywood, or, fuck Hollywood. I don't want,
Right.
So,
Yeah, it's very, it's such a weird time. It really, like, I mean, so aside from movies, like, are you guys, like, do you have any major life changes? Like, has anything become vastly different for either of you with all the quarantining happening? Have you had to change, anything about, well, aside from like your normal daily life of like being out in public, like has it?
Well, I live in Florida, so I think we were the most relaxed with the whole quarantine. We have the beach, we have, it's warm here like 9 months out of the year. So, we're always walking and biking and being on the beach and stuff. So that hasn't changed much of our daily lives. I mean, is that what you're asking?
Yeah, I mean, if it has it affected, like I know for me, every day feels the same. Like, has it affected any of your? Do what?
You're in a Groundhog movie.
Yeah, yeah. Like, has it affected any of your like your creativity, or like your, like, have you found any new mental blocks or anything with the way the world's happening, or have you guys been able to push through and continue, finding new things and exploring new things?
I think for me it's been fine, because I feel like it's kind of just the same old. I mean, I really love the time off, spending with my girls being off of school and spending the time with them and everything. So I guess, I wasn't able to be as creative, with them around, just as being like a full-time mom, as well as, doing this business. But I mean, I guess I'm fortunate enough to say that it didn't affect me as much as, a lot of people. So
Yeah.
I don't think it did for Eugene as well. Did it?
I'm glad I don't follow rules. I was always outside or so I'm like, this whole pandemic thing kind of like, I'm like, I don't believe in the hype too much. There's too much false things going on, and like whatever.
Don't get into that.
I'm not getting into that, but all I'm gonna say is this: long story short, I still did me.
Right.
That's the
right. And and that's and I support that. I mean, people, it's one of those like I still support whatever people decide to do. That's really up to them. And and I've said from the beginning, I don't want to catch it, but I kind of do, just to get it over with. You know what I mean? Like, just get it out of the way. And because eventually we're all gonna have to go through it, I think, and it's almost like the sooner the better. Like I don't wish for it, but
you might already have it. There's some people who had it, and then all of a sudden it's like now, like, oh, well, I'm not getting sick. So that's an interesting thing to think about.
Yeah. I did see something. There was an article talking about that with I guess a lot of the people that have been wearing masks, like, or slowly being exposed to all the germs. Like if you're getting smaller doses of it, then you're building up a little bit of an immunity, and maybe you didn't present any symptoms and such. So yeah, it's very interesting. Man, 2020 has been just weird.
I'm waiting for the announcement of an asteroid coming into Earth in December 2020, or some sort of or hell coming back, like Satan coming back.
Yeah.
From the Earth.
Sort. Like I just don't even know what's going to happen next. And I mean, it was the year, just like I was saying, I mean, for me, it just feels like every day is just the same over and over. And it's like because I work from home now, and so like I wake up, I work, I take a nap for like an hour, and then I get back up and I stream. So it's like every day it's cut by 5 hours of sleep, and then an hour of sleep, and then 5 hours of sleep. It's exhausting.
Well, we have someone saying that they work in the medical field, and not one of them wore a mask, and the whole COVID thing is a joke. And I also heard that a lot of people who said that they had the symptoms were hooked up to ventilators, which in fact worsened their illness, and when in fact they should have been given like oxygen.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not quite sure. There's a lot of like you said, misinformation. I just know that I'm being healthy, working out, I'm getting fresh air, and I'm doing the same for my girls. We try to, eat as healthy as can be, and just I think that's the best thing you can do, right?
Yeah.
Nature's natural medicine.
Yeah.
I would say my COVID. I would say it was a big year for me. It's like it tests you what you want to do. Like it stops you from working, or you start working on something else, or you still work towards it. And I think it a lot of people that I talked to a little bit in our case is like we're dreamers, right? We keep pushing. I mean, you're doing your Twitch thing, right? I mean, you could stop doing it and saying, I'm tired of this shit.
Yeah.
But you keep moving on, man. And I'm looking at this chat room. It's just funny to watch the chat.
I'm very involved with them.
I know. Rebekah's going after people in there. Yeah, it was. I know a lot of.
Right, calling people out. I'm very blunt.
I know a lot of artists that I know. They've been pushing through. Since they've been stuck at home, like painters are painting more, and and as a writer, were you writing more because you were kind of at first everybody's like the world kind of shut down? Like, did it kind of force you into, I've got a lot more time now to do things instead of having to go deal with people, or did it?
Mine is a weird story. Mine is kind of weird because it's not going towards that. It's kind of the opposite. I did. So I'm also a business person too. Yeah. And I made some business dealings and such that kind of changed, the potential outcome of even more. So like while people were losing money, I found a way to even like make more money, which is kind of weird. And so one of the things that me and Rebekah know, and you know this too, it takes money to make money. Yeah. I fucking hate that phrase, but it's one of those things where we believe that, with our faith and like, us pushing hard and working hard and just finding the right people with us that anyone can do anything they want to, just that don't give up or don't have that negative attitude, negative Nancy. You just have to be like, all right, it's going to suck because I can't go out, or I could go out, but you have to make a life, not just a living, Yeah.
So, how did I haven't talked a lot to Rebekah yet about how the opening, like how the like, because the film, I guess, officially released yesterday. Is that right?
We're doing a soft like beta opening, which means that it's like a limited release. We're opening it up to, a few of our friends. Obviously, without like the marketing, it can't go far. So, but we also have a team that is going to push this in India and the Philippines. So that's kind of like where we're, going to get started. And this is sort of like with streams, it's an experimental film, which we did on purpose. And the whole marketing approach, distribution approach is like an innovative platform that we're experimenting with. And we hope it succeeds very well. So we're kind of wanting to get away from current distributors in Hollywood and cut out the middleman is basically what we're wanting to do. So thinking and working smarter. We're thinking working smarter, not harder.
Yeah.
So what say you, EP?
Sorry, I'm just like I was enamored by what you're saying. What was the question?
Oh, very good. He kind of like drifted away because it's like not even exciting.
Oh no, I was like, one thing I love hearing Rebekah talk, like she has a lot to say. So I'm just like, and she pokes fun at me a lot too. I love that, my friends and everything. So you poke fun at me a lot too.
Fun of me, thank you. I really appreciate it.
Of course. All right, what was the question? I totally forgot. Oh my gosh.
Oh, just asking like how, because the distribution of the like how everything went yesterday, like because I guess it came out officially yesterday. That's kind of what we're talking about.
Basically talking about like the distribution, kind of what we're doing and maybe why we're going, the direction we're going, and we chose, I guess, not to release it. Go through like a professional distribution who, can give us the package of releasing it on, all of those platforms that are available to us. But like I said, we're wanting to cut out the middleman and see if we can't do this ourselves and potentially, do this for every movie in the future. So but go ahead, Evie. That's what it was about.
No, yeah. So one of the things, on top of that, too many filmmakers think you have to get on Netflix or Amazon Prime. And when they have their shit on that, one of the things I'm proud of them. I've learned to be like, oh yeah, great. But I'm like, you do know that unless you're making money off of it, most likely it's in the bottom. And we didn't like that. Amazon Prime took out a lot of indie films, kind of sort under platforms, so they're not trying to go big productions. And we're just like, we don't want to be a victim of that. We don't want to be stuck in the system. So we just, one of the things that I found that I did introduce to Becca and want to hear her thoughts was to build our own site and how we can do it. And one of the cool things is it's not just our film as well. It's also other indie filmmaker films that we think would give our viewers other options and such kind of thing. So we're doing something very creative, something very innovative, and that's what she and I are all about. It's like, let's do something different. This film's experimental, so let's experiment on distribution as well.
Yeah, and I mean, and word of mouth is, so with with the way the world is now, with social media and word of mouth, and one person tells a person and they tell a person. Things can roll. It doesn't like you were saying. It doesn't necessarily have to be under some giant corporate umbrella to get noticed. That it just takes one person to tell another person, and then it just kind of snowballs from there. So. I definitely think there's nothing wrong with that. Like I wouldn't even think that that's too risky because that's everybody's going to find out.
I think the risky thing that people are, again, it takes money to make money. I think that's people don't really know how to market correctly. Bro, you got a good look, kind of thing. Like you put it right in the right people, you can get your millions and 2 millions and so forth. And I think that's the thing that me and Becca and our self-discovery in this business and learning and growing, we've learned what works and what doesn't. And I think that's what you have to do is like, it just takes, like you said, a snowball. It takes like one or two group of people to spot you. And they're like, hey, they'll tell their friends, And that's where the marketing comes in. How do you target those people, especially in social media when it's so saturated?
Yeah.
Oversaturated.
Shit, now it's gonna run out of questions.
He's like reading the whole comment section on the side.
Are you still keeping up with chat?
But no. Chat's good. We're friends now. Be at that.
I see people talking about Anne Rice and I don't even know what's going on in chat. Oh yeah, T.S. Karkin said release it to Pornhub. Can make a lot of money on Pornhub.
I think because I said something like I'm going to go full force now, so they're making fun of me. But I asked if it's PG rated.
Yeah, I was going to say definitely not. Yeah, that's where you make me. Yeah, I was like, I need to get fake boobs, get an OnlyFans thing or something.
Hey, you know what? You should do foot pics. That I've been seeing.
Oh my goodness gracious! So I feel like ever since I've been, I'm not going to say on the scene because I'm not on the scene, but as when I started out as a lifestyle model and then went into acting, someone put my feet on Wikipedia feet or Wiki feet. No joke. Where they're rating my feet.
Wow. So your feet are on the internet. Well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like 4.7, 4.8 stars, I think, last time I checked.
It was like 8, almost 9, and I said, "What? My feet are so cute. They should be at least a 10."
I said 11, but she said 10 though, so I was like, I went further.
I had a female, I guess, or whatever.
So where? So we'll go back a little bit on the. So where did you actually shoot the film? Is that something you can discuss? Was it done here? Oh, in Richmond.
We actually shot at the Edgar Allan Poe Museum.
Mm-hmm. So I live in Richmond, and at the time before Becca was in Florida, that's how we met. She lived in the DC area, so we were in the same region at the time. And it's like the location she would find in Springs was she was in Florida, so she couldn't really help me find it, but we had some of the beautiful locations, and like it worked for what it is, and that's how we were able to make the film too. Is we knew how to get these locations without costing an arm and a leg.
Yeah.
And Edgar Allan Poe Museum was, I don't know if I told you this, Becca, but it's like very short. Like it was like one of those last second things where some people don't respond to you when you email them. That guy, I tell you, his name is Chris Center. I mean, he's a great guy, but man, his responses is like, you just like, oh my God, okay, we don't have a location for this. He finally answers like the last week. I'm like, oh, wow. So we got like very lucky on that regards.
Cool. So this is my personal question. Being from Richmond, or since you're from, I'm in Oklahoma, but for you being in Richmond, have you been to the Guar Bar?
Yes, Guar is huge here in Richmond, and I would growing up, I remember the whole rock scene here. It was very big, kind of like almost like not as big as Seattle when they had that, but there was a lot of grunge and rock here as well, and alternative and metal here. So yeah, Guar, I know you're talking about. Yeah,
I haven't been to Richmond. It's been a few years. Like with being a vapor, we would have vaping conventions like all across the world, and one of the big ones that we would always have was in Richmond, and it was like at the shitty Clarion Hotel in the middle of nowhere. And,
I know you're talking about. I know the place. It's
like real seedy, real sketchy, and but they let us do whatever we want. So we'd have like 500 people there and just run the whole thing for the weekend.
I'll let you know that's where a lot of the prostitution.
Oh God, that makes sense.
They let us do whatever they wanted there.
Yeah, no, it makes total sense now.
It makes total sense. It's like, hey, you know what? And then if you come here next time, I can show you. Oh yeah, here's the other spots that will let you do anything.
Yeah, so it was like it was funny because we'd been going there for like 5 years, I think, and never thought about it. And I was talking to one of my buddies. I was like, dude, we need to go to the Guar Bar because I mean it's there, And so we went. Like one of my friends, another vapor, has Guar tattoos. Like loved Guar. Like that's kind of how we connected. And so I've always loved Guar. And so. The food there, is really good. I mean, I didn't have, high expectations, but the food was fucking amazing. Like, they make their own fried Twinkies.
Yep.
Oh, my God.
there.
If you guys ever come back to Richmond, or back, even you, Flitz, man, like I would, like I said, I will even tell you if I'm not here, you know, where some of the best spots there, close to there, because you're almost close to Cary. You went to Carytown, right? Near there. You know where Carytown is in Richmond? You've been?
The only place that I went was basically just to the hotel. Like we landed and then I just went to the hotel and then we Ubered to Guar Bar and we Ubered to the Poe Museum, and that was about as far as we went.
Oh, you weren't as, I mean, like, shit, man. Like, you weren't as far as, you were kind of going around these places, but, like, you know, I would tell you the places were the best fried Oreos, just many other hidden secrets and similar things to the Guar Bar and, like, any rock metal scene, such kind of sort, because that was, like, they're there. Richmond is a very hipster alternative.
Yeah, because I feel like I missed, you know, like it's funny because I've been to a lot of different cities going to conventions and stuff like that, but I never really get to experience the city because it's mostly just we're in a hotel. And it's one of those, like, I always felt bad because I'm like, I feel like I'm seeing kind of the shitty part of Richmond. Like, we're in this, like, horrible hotel, worried about getting stabbed, and, you know, but it was fun because we, you know, it was like us hanging out. But yeah, like I never really got to experience the city, so it's one of those places I always wanted to kind of go visit again.
You need to, for sure, especially if you're into the and that's kind of scene. Like Richmond has a lot to offer.
Yeah.
It's not as touristy, so if you hate tourist places, you'll be fine here and everything.
Yeah.
Yep.
What are they talking about in chat now? People are being best friends.
He says, come to Chicago, you won't get shot.
I've been to Chicago. Yeah, Carcass. I've been to Chicago. I went to the museum there. I don't know. Like, we had conventions in Chicago as well. Chicago is a cool place. It was. I like the museum. I'm scared of Chicago. Being from Tulsa, like being a small town white boy. Like I'm terrified of every big city.
Aw,
everywhere,
baby.
I know. Everywhere I go, I'm just gonna be like, everybody's gonna shoot me or stab me. Just paranoid for absolutely no reason.
That's hilarious.
So, God, what else? I'm sorry. I didn't write notes or anything. I'm just kind of going off the cuff, and now I'm kind of like, what else do we have?
Let's talk about something totally different. We're gonna talk about high school. This is where I know Mr. Flitzy is from high school. We can talk about our high school days and what we were like.
And embarrass me?
No, I honestly, like, I don't remember much. I have such a horrible, limited memory. I have no idea why.
Was Rebekah always this sweet, or was she?
You know, I would say yes. I mean, we never, like, we had a lot of mutual friends in high school, and you know, we talked, but we never really hung out. Like we kind of ran in similar circles, but we never really talked a lot in high school. But was always absolutely a sweetheart to me in high school, and I think it was kind of after that we started going to the same bars that we started hanging out more.
Yeah, but you know, whenever you meet somebody and you know, like, you're on that same wavelength, you have, you know, it's like the chemistry. It's such a good vibe being with Mr. Flitzy, and yeah, I mean, it's like you pick up where you left off when you're with him. So
yeah,
absolutely love it. Love him, like as does everybody.
Most people can't help it. Antio wants to know what's your first memory of me.
Like you, I have no idea. I mean, what is their problem?
That's
like,
what I thought too.
Because you are so sweet. You're always so, I feel like, in the middle of just kind of everything. Like, you listen to everybody's side. You're very open. You kind of like understand almost everything, I feel like.
I try, yeah. I could agree with that.
You have a good sense to read people, and you have no drama in your life, and that's how you are.
Like, I try to tell people, I'm like, this is pretty much me. Like, I mean, and you can kind of attest to that. Like, I feel like I'm not really putting on an act in any way.
No, you've been this way for forever. And it's funny because so when you do know someone in high school and then you see them later on in life and they act a certain way, you're just kind of Like, what the hell happened to you?
Right.
I don't know. I don't know how else to explain it, but you've literally been the same person throughout your whole life. And you always, I remember you always were dating one of your best friends, and you probably are still best friends with her because you guys met more.
We are still best friends. Yeah. She lives in
I knew it.
Whidbey Island.
Where's that at?
It's in Washington. It's like a fantasy land. It's like a tiny island in Washington state. And they like hide painted rocks and have like, it's like a fairy tale. It's really weird. I've never heard of it. I feel like it's a made up place that you have to have like a special card to get into or something. But it's, yeah, you have to like take a ferry to get to the little island or something. But
Ooh, that's very majestic and magical. I like that.
yeah.
And someone did say, like you just said previously, that someone asked what my very first memory of you was. And I feel like, I mean, you were just the same way you are now. And I love it. And that's just, you look the same. I mean, you look the same as you did in high school.
I've always been weird. My hair wasn't pink, but I've always been weird.
It's weird. It's just, that's how you are. And,
I just have more tattoos.
Yeah, you have.
What was the earliest encounter like between specific things that you guys did together, like actually as friends, or
like he said, we kind of never really hung out until later.
What was the fondest memory? Like
the guy that I dated at the time was in his circle of friends, right? And that's how we became friends. I mean, but I think we became friends anyway because we had a small school, a small town. Everybody knew everybody. For the most part, I feel like a lot of people were cordial. But probably not. I was always kind of like in my own world when I was younger. And I think as everybody. But like you said, it was later on when we graduated and just went to the same bars. It was basically the Empire, right? Where we always hung out. And I mean, yeah, like it's just like a connection where you know that you really, really like somebody and you want to talk to them and hang out with them. So that's kind of what he was.
I think the only early memory I remember we hung out at football games because that's what you did.
Yeah.
Because
you'd always go to football games and drink and be bad people.
Yeah, and like the little parties that would always get shut down. People would find a field somewhere and be like, "Let's go have a party in this field. Nobody will be there." Like park on a road somewhere, and
that's so fun. I think that's every high school.
Yeah,
that happened here.
That was I think that was our early memories. Was like, yeah, always go. It was always somebody had a party. They're like, I know a place, and we'd always go to this place, and then eventually cops would show up or something.
Yeah.
Yep. Good old days.
Yeah, back in Hicktown, Oklahoma.
I know. I mean, literally, like it's so funny to think about because you think it is when you're younger, but as you get older, you're like, oh well, this is only like 5 minutes from the big city.
Yeah. What is the weirdest outfit you've seen me in?
But I feel like I've seen you the weirdest. Thanks.
That's a very subjective question, I guess.
I wish, you know what I should have done was dig up some pictures. I feel like I have some. Do you have any?
I have a yearbook. That's all I have. I don't have any pictures.
I mean like some real incriminating photos that I took of you. You don't even know.
Oh, no. I have pictures like, I think from the bar of us.
You?
I think so.
That would be fun.
Maybe I should look those up. It's going to screw everything up as soon as I tab away.
Oh.
EP, what about your high school days? What did you do? And what were your hobbies? What was your high school life like?
Well, we did have those parties too. Like I grew up in so Richmond is kind of like a mix of suburban and urban, but like I was more in the suburban area, and it's like a little mix of country there too.
Yeah.
So like we've had our fair shares of like cops showing up in houses or in fields, and kind of like there's a country place called Powhatan, and they're real rednecks there.
Yeah.
Mudding and all that shit with we're like high school, and when the cops come, we're just like, I remember I was like, it was kind of like one of those things where you would run to the woods and you would wait out until they stop, until like they're all gone.
Right.
They're like I don't want to get fucking in trouble. My dad, like my parents, I was always a troublemaker. So my parents, it's like, there was one time I'm like, yeah, I'm not trying to get in trouble that time because I think I wrecked a car a week earlier before that.
Right.
And I was like in probation at the time, I think. I can't remember. Memory kind of fuzz. So I was like, yeah, I tried not to get in trouble, but
yeah,
it's kind of like those kind of things. Have fun, just drinking and that kind of sort too.
Yeah. Did you have interest in did you see the projects that you're working on now? Did you foresee doing things like that when you were younger?
So I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna be honest with you. I guess I'm a late bloomer because I had no ambitions at all. I had no idea what I wanted to do in life. I was just kind of rolling with life kind of thing and like trying to figure it out like everyone else.
Yeah.
It's kind of more depressive, kind of like if you read like Edgar Allan Poe and all those artists, like I'm not gonna get into it. There's not the kind of chat to get into that all that. But no, it's I wasn't as ambitious until 2015, and actually that's later that year. That's when I met Becca. Actually, so like 2015 was a huge transformation for me to get my shit together, and I was like 28, 27, I think at the time.
Yeah.
So
I have a way of making and getting their shit together.
Yep, it's never too late. That's what I've learned.
It says, "Who was your biggest crush in high school?"
Who, me?
Yes, that's the question.
Yeah, let's dig into your past. Who's your biggest crush?
Wait, are we talking about like real life or like celebrities? I was like, what are we talking about?
I say either one. Either one. Who's your fantasy crush and your real life crush? Let's call it out right now. Let's get it on record.
All right, so I'm gonna have a fun. This is gonna be a really fun in real life, and you don't know her, so she's already married. But my Spanish teacher.
Oh.
I would tell you this. My younger brother would tell everybody in the future is like my brother gave her a gift. I don't like giving gifts to people. I'm a good gift giver, but when it came to like romance, I was a sucker. So it was kind of weird because I was just so oblivious and stuff. I'm like, okay, cool. It'd be fine to give her a bouquet of flowers in a glass vase, with a card. And it was like, and like where she opens it and like, that's normal, right? So I did that one time, and I remember she read it, and I seriously swore as like what I wrote to her was like, oh, this is like a friend kind of sort. But apparently my brother said like I think she told him and a few people was like I was writing her the stars in the universe. It's kind of like how I want to give her that kind of story. I was like, really? So that was kind of a fun story. But she let me down lightly.
Right.
And I'm just like, I don't know if I could ever recover from that.
I mean, that's her loss.
Hey, I mean, you know what? She has beautiful children. I just didn't have the money at the time, so maybe I didn't my life straight together. Set. Age thing too could have been also an issue with her.
Yeah, the whole statutory rape thing might have been a problem.
I have a crazy story about that too, about a teacher. Not like a little situation, but do you remember our English teacher, Mr. Scott?
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
He was like the Irish boy, very pale, with dark hair and the green eyes. And I had like the biggest crush on him. And we were writing. He was like, write something about like your night or your evening. And horrible little me wrote a little bit about taking a bath. It's not horrible. That's pretty cool. And our teachers at the time, I think they're probably like, I mean, we were 18 and they were like 23, 24, 25. They were very young teachers.
Yeah, there was.
Sorry, that's so horrible.
That was in the past, don't worry. It's not you now.
Like I said, at the time, it was crazy because our high school had the youngest teachers.
Yeah.
Right? It was crazy. I mean, they were like they were 22, 23, like just got out of college teaching at our school. I feel like so many of them were there.
Yeah.
And then we had a lot of, Oh, we remember Mr. White.
Mr. White? Is that what you said?
Yeah, wasn't it Mr. White? He was like Einstein or something.
Yeah. No, he's still alive. Like, he's still around. Somebody posted a picture with him the other day that they ran into him in a store somewhere.
He was such a genius. He was always so scatterbrained and beautiful things happening up there, but on the outside, it was a beautiful mess.
Yeah. So this teacher, he looked like Einstein. Like, he was literally had big, fuzzy, crazy hair and wore, like pocket protectors. And like, I heard so many stories, like he would pass out because he would forget to eat because he had so much going on in his head. Like he's one of those people that was so far beyond your normal realm of like intelligence that he would just forget to do normal things and was just a mad genius. What is your I'm sorry, Becca. I feel like you're just listening to nerd talk now. So Becca, we're going to talk about movies again. What would you say are some of your favorite films from any genre that have stuck with you? Like, what movies have you watched that have spoken to you and stuck with you?
Oh, goodness. Well, I do have like a favorite list. I would say one of my favorite films is a French film. It's called Love Me If You Dare, and it stars a very young Marion Cotillard, and like I guess whenever she was like a French movie star before she transitioned over here in America. And I love that film. You have to check it out. I also love Leaving Las Vegas. I love the performances in that and the just fragile human being. And
you say Leaving Las Vegas?
Yeah, Leaving Las Vegas with Elizabeth Shue and Nicolas Cage, and both of them are just like so fragile and living just a crazy life. And I don't know, I don't know why that film is always like appealed to me, but I don't know. I have a long list. I mean, I can go on. There's so many, that I'm excited about. What do you like?
We'll let you go, EP.
Well, actually, I was like, this is how we also connected to when we first met up, kind of thing. Is like Love Me If You Dare. We actually both love that movie.
I haven't seen that yet. I'm gonna have to look into that one then.
It's this for me, the premise and the plot and how it's shot and everything, it was beautifully shot. The premise, it was just so, there was a lot of like I don't know, I just liked it because it was just so daring, and like you find these people, and I've always had an obsession with I'm a romantic, and one of the things I love about is like their ongoing devotion to each other in the game. I'm not gonna ruin it more.
Right.
And another movie I could say is The Crow. That's another thing where I loved about where he comes back from the dead to for vengeance for what they did to his loved one and everything.
Yeah,
you seen The Crow, right?
Yeah. I lived like that was my high school life, was framed around being The Crow.
Mm-hmm. And so like I don't know about if any of my favorite movies those when it comes to it, that's why I guess I became a romance writer, but something where it's like unbelievable love type that people are afraid to even put themselves out there.
Yeah.
So that's how I kind of live my life too, just to love,
right? And
especially life. So those are some of my favorite movies. To get pretty light, I guess, because there are some dark movies I like too. Yeah, Leaving Las Vegas is a good one too. But I can talk about Memento is another good one for me.
Yeah,
Christopher Nolan's dark. I love those kind of like psychological shit. Alfred Hitchcock movies, and my favorite, I don't know why I'm bringing this up, but my favorite Disney classic movie, okay? It's kind of sentimental. It is, you may not even believe it or not, but it's The Little Mermaid.
The Little Mermaid, okay.
That was the first okay, so when we came here to America, we had nothing. We had a lot of things in the Philippines, American dream. So I remember our apartment was so empty, but someone gave my dad like a laser disc, one that's in the 80s kind of thing. So like we had the big laser disc of The Little Mermaid, and that was the first thing we watched when he came here to America.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, Sebastian, Prince Eric, all those kind of things. The boat wreck. That's like what we had.
Right.
Right. And then there was Dumbo, but I didn't understand Dumbo. What the fuck that was going on. To be honest, what the hell was going on? But yeah, just a little bit about me.
Yeah.
What about you?
I am kind of like the anti-romantic that I love the perspective that you come from. Like that's what I want to believe, but then I'm like the the realistic part of me. So one of my favorite movies is Closer with Jude Law and
I know you're talking about.
Yeah, because it's like everybody's like, oh, because I always tell people that's my favorite love story, and they're like, that's a horrible movie, and I'm like, yeah, because that's real, because that's the shit that happens. Is like some dude gets married and falls in love, and then he's like, who's this girl? And suddenly, like, there's this whole mix of everything, and people are lying to each other, and I'm like, that's real life. That's what That's what you see. Very rarely do you hear about everybody that has the perfect life and perfect love and everything. It's always like the what?
I said, oh, well, then your love's strings.
Yeah. See, and I think that's what drew me to it, because I'm like, there's some intrigue in these words here that I want to know. I need to explore what's happening, because it doesn't sound like it's all, it's not all superficial, that there's stuff underneath. And yeah, so like I enjoy movies like that. And then aside from that, it's mostly horror. But like Exorcist 3, I really loved for some reason, because it was about it was like, it wasn't The Exorcist is amazing. One of my top favorite films, The Exorcist anyway. But part 3 was such a different story about a guy being possessed, that he was possessed by the body of a killer. And ironically, it was what was his name? It's I forgot his name. It's the guy, Brad Dourif. The guy that does the voice. Brad Dourif played the killer in Child's Play. And he's the guy that inhabited the body of the toy. And in Exorcist 3, Brad Dourif is the prisoner who is possessed by a killer. So it's like this weird, ironic thing that they use that guy. But it was George C. Scott was in it, like powerful performances. And it's just, and there's so many scenes that were shot that are still like the most jump-worthy scenes in a movie. But yeah, Exorcist 3 was really good for some reason.
The Exorcist, though, they really called in the spirits, like the Poltergeist, those kind of movies. Like those movies, they really, like from the stories I heard on set, they were kind of real. Actually, they weren't like really like, oh, when this person walks into this, no. Yeah, and that's what I heard. It's like, oh shit.
Yeah, there's some dark stories that happen around that, and there was one other one that I've always liked that was it was kind of a lesser known film. It was actually Dee Snider from Quiet Riot, I'm sorry, Twisted Sister. Dee Snider from Twisted Sister did a movie called Strangeland, where he was the killer, and he was like a body mod fetish, like half his body's tattooed and he's pierced all to hell, and he's Captain Howdy, which is Captain Howdy from the Ouija board in The Exorcist, and he's like this internet prey, like stalker, and it's one of those, like, it's funny because like very few famous people have replied like on Twitter that I always like, oh! And he was talking about it, and I said something. I'm like, yeah, because you're a real human monster. Like that was the character that you played, was this hidden, like you were a human monster. And he was like, you get it. And I'm like, fucking A. Dee Snider just fucking replied to me on Twitter. My life is complete. But another really good movie that's very, very dark into human spirit and human depth and such.
You know what I miss in horror movies? I think too much is gore these days. Or it's like and this coming back now. I really miss the suspense, like what's gonna happen. Like I kind of like the psychological aspect of it that was missing. Right. So now it's coming back, but there was a time when Saw came out. Okay, that was innovative. Okay, cool. We never seen anything like that. But then it just kept getting over and over and over. It's like, dude, it's the same thing over again.
Yeah, that's when everything went to torture porn and gore.
Torture porn. Right.
Yeah. Becca, are you saying you're tired? I saw that.
Oh no, I do have to go though in a minute. I wasn't trying to be like rude or anything. I did tell your guests I had to like get off here in a second anyway.
Mm.
I'm here for like 3 hours almost.
Has it been that long? I guess it has.
It has. I was like, wow.
Time flies. Yeah, I mean, and you guys are, again, you're welcome to hang out as long as you want. But if you want to, like, I understand too, because it has been 3 hours of your life.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, I loved every minute of it.
I know we didn't. I know we started talking about other things. So again, the movie. Go to. Hold on, I have a command for my chat.
You guys can all night. I bet you could. You have so much in common.
There we go. I typed it wrong. There's the link to the website. And also, do you guys any more shameless plugs you want to get out before we forget? Like Instagram, Twitter, other websites. Do you have anything that you want to type in? Or
no, it's the same. You know, it's String Speaker Film on IG, Facebook, and Twitter is String Speaker.
Oh, there's also, when you go in the movies, our DP. He's agreed to have his movies, also 2 movies. There's similar styles of strings or shot, and if they wanted, they love the style of strings. They should definitely also check out his movies as well if they're interested in getting to know this team, because that's the one thing about us as a trio that we're forming in this, is that we want to make films and continue to make films, and if it's not broke, why fix it?
Right.
Yeah, I think you guys would love the layout of our website that we utilize. It's it kind of mimics like Netflix. It's pretty impressive and professional. So take a look and let us know what you think, and tell Daniel what you think about our movie. We'd love to hear.
We're going to talk about it for ages.
The next movie would be like how shitty String was.
Yeah.
Well, I
was going to say, like, this is... I'm
just kidding. It was amazing.
I was going to say, this is only like I think you're the 6th interview that we've done so far, but you're definitely the first that have IMDb pages. So that was that. You know, I think that's good for me. That's good for my reputation.
Oh, come on.
But no, it's.
I'm kidding.
No, it's this is actually, and I usually end up saying this on Fridays. Like, this is one of those things, like, I've kind of started doing, just to bring you in on what for Friday, is that with the whole quarantine nonsense going on, like, it kind of got to the point that I kind of started realizing, like, maybe people don't have chats, you know, like maybe people don't just sit and talk. And so instead of playing video games, I was like, you know what, we're going to change Fridays to just like hanging out. And so I started hanging out, just chatting. And then, you know, I'm like, what if I start talking to people that I know, or, you know, and loosely know, and like concentric circles of friends and such, and start bringing people on and just having conversations about real things. And 'cause it's one of those, like, I guess that's my sappy side, is like, I feel like that's what's missing, is people just aren't really having conversations with strangers, you know? And because it's mostly like, you know, like, I've known Becca for years, but obviously, like, we've never met, and I feel like we had a great conversation. And so, and it's one of those, like, I want people to see that, you know, to be like, you can have a conversation with somebody you don't know, you'll find your common ground, and then it's amazing. And
Well, I was going to say, for you, I feel like that's so easy for you, Daniel. You are just so nice, and you can get along with anybody.
Maybe.
I will.
People's personalities clash, and I'm always surrounding myself, I think, with the sweetest, nicest people. Obviously, you can see that in EP. You know, I don't want any drama or bullshit. So.
I'm with Beck. Your energy and sense, and just openness as well too, I think it's really helped to make it comfortable. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm shy. As much as people say I'm talkative, it's just a persona to have to for business. But
right,
I was kind of just observing you guys, kind of like, okay.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, you know, I was like, but your energy, you're easy to talk to. You're very open. There's no drama and anything. So that's the energy, that the aura around you that I felt. So
yeah. Cool. Well, I appreciate that. That means a lot coming from you, because I know you seem to be a very introspective person and a very in tune person. So I take that as a compliment for sure. My cat's losing his mind.
Absolutely.
So should we call it there? You guys want to? We can come back another time. We can do this again at some point in the future, because this was fun.
Muslim says I have a sub here. That you understand that means you can't leave now. One of us.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they gifted you a sub, so now you're subscribed to my channel.
Oh, awesome.
Which means you can use emotes, because I have emotes like this and this. There's some of my face.
Oh.
There's my zombie face.
I love the little logo, your F logo with the brain. That's so awesome.
My tattoo artist drew that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Do you have that?
Do what?
Do you have it on your body?
I don't have it on my body. No, he just drew it for my logo. Uh-oh.
Okay.
EP's following now, too.
I forgot that I did already.
Yeah.
I was like, oh wait, I want to be like that.
Yeah, Fridays have been good. Like I've like I said, this was a step away because it's mostly been talking to other gamers. Like it's kind of a focus on content creators, and so I've talked to a lot of gamers, and so I was, when I'd happened, like I'm racking my brain, I'm like, I need interesting people to come on. I'm like, and I feel shitty thinking like I have friends, but I'm like, so like I don't want to like exclude people, but I'm like, Becca's like, this is very interesting, especially coming from small town and into like, I just watched her, like I watched her movie on Amazon Prime. I'm like, that's fucking unreal, and so, oh, and you got gifted a sub too. Game on Play gifted you a sub. Nice.
I mean, if gamers, kind of thing, you have a beautiful woman like Becca coming in, they're going to drop the games real quick and listen. Oh, what's you got to say, right, Becca?
Yeah. And don't think, like, I mean, obviously, I thought about that. I don't want to objectify it, but obviously.
No, it's not. It's fun.
I want to tell you guys something which is so crazy to me. So my mother, who is she's like 67, she is a major gamer. I mean, I don't know if you guys consider this whatever cool, but she is on, it's called Second City. Is it Second
Life?
Second Life, yeah.
Yeah.
She's on Second. Are you guys on that?
No, I've played it. I'm familiar with it, but I haven't played it. It's very life consuming.
Oh yeah, she has an army. She is like the general of her army. She has her own fighting. Like, I mean, she's like the head of it. It's hilarious. And she's one of the best fighters in this world. I'm not sure. Everyone is always asking her to be on her team, and it's so funny. It is so funny, and she'll sit there and play that for hours.
Yeah.
And her stuff is amazing. Like what she creates, like the world she creates, and like the beautiful women, who are like the warrior women. I mean, it's insane. I was like, you're so skilled at this. You should, like do this for, like the actual game.
Yeah.
But anyways, I'm gonna actually do snapshots and I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about.
You're gonna what?
I'm gonna do snapshots of her.
Okay.
Computer.
You know what's funny? There's very few games that are banned on Twitch, and Second Life is one of the games that is not allowed on Twitch.
Wow.
Because there's a lot of devious, dark, sexual things in the game.
Oh.
Like fetishist stuff where people, it's like because I played it because I'm like, I'm curious. This is like 10 years ago, because you hear about this stuff and I'm like, I'm really curious what these people do. And it is like, there is a whole, and not to diminish the thing, like there is a whole game part of it, but then there's this whole subculture of people they treat it like a 3D sex chat, basically, where you interact and it's like, you're where everybody is like, a 60-year-old man playing as an 18-year-old girl, like banging all these people and whatever, it's every hot girl you talk to in the game is a creepy guy in a basement and it's not a real girl. And but it's like this virtual sex chat that people turn it into, and so there's this weird dark area of it, and so they don't let people stream it because of all that. But
Cavio Cave said, "Yeah, Second Life has come dark corners." I'm sorry if I made that comment.
Yeah,
so.
It's
grandma.
Yeah, it's really bizarre. Like, what's up?
She doesn't even look like it, and she's I don't know. She's not a normal grandma person.
That's good to have hobbies, though. I mean, and it is very much like it helps with creative outlets. To have something.
I'm seeing feet. You want to see feet? Sorry.
Promised feet. You got to pay for that. You can't just see the feet for free. You got to pay for the feet.
Go to WikiFeet.
Yeah, go to WikiFeet, find your OnlyFans foot page. That's your second job. Rebekah, that's your second job.
I'm hearing about that.
OnlyFans is like Instagram, but you pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
You subscribe and
naked on Instagram. Have you seen that? Everybody.
yeah, and well, even on OnlyFans, a lot of these people don't get naked. They just post like sluttier pictures than they do normally, and people pay for
naked.
them. Oh, just actually naked.
Have you never seen these?
I've seen a few. Like
they like all the time, and I'm like, who are these girls? And then I'm like, wow, they're naked.
Yeah, which I think that you're not supposed to be naked on Instagram.
No,
I think it's against the rules.
Not. They're still naked.
Yeah. No, that's how people are making money. Like all these hot girls on the internet, they start an OnlyFans page where you subscribe, you pay them like whatever monthly amount, and they post pictures, and you pay them to see pictures. And a lot of them, like I said, like especially gamers, there's a lot of Twitch streamers and YouTubers that post just alluring pictures, not even naked pictures, and people pay for them. Which guy? Did you have the foot page?
WikiFeet. This is so if you want to see her picture for WikiFeet.
Did you really find it?
That's Rebekah. Look at those feet, guys. Come on, rate it.
Your feet.
That was hilarious.
That's good stuff.
I'm like a crab or something. The way I'm like doing my legs.
Hey, there's some people who love crabs, you know.
I didn't say crab. I look like a crab.
I mean, they might just like, you know,
like
they might be big fans of a Little Mermaid, you know, Sebastian. I don't know.
Oh, I gotta show you speaking of mermaids, I gotta show you my mermaid tattoo. I have to like stand up so I can lean my arm in.
All right. Where is it?
Look at this stuff.
Oh, Becca. Next weekend, I'm getting my.
God, that is hilarious.
It's one of my favorite tattoos.
You see it?
Where is it?
Oh, did you see it?
I didn't see it.
It's got there's a pan. What are they called? The pantyhose and the What's it called?
Can you see it yet?
Oh, okay, I see it now. I saw the live, but yeah, I see it. It's delayed. Oh, that's cool. That's so. Oh my God, it's too funny. I like it. It's artsy.
Yeah,
Rebekah, I was telling you.
Someone said OnlyFans is Instagram, but there's no rules. It's so cool porn.
Yeah, it's like softcore porn, basically.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen people with OnlyFans who've done something like not sexual either. Actually, I was like,
Yeah, I think celebs are on it too, right?
Mm-hmm. Look, if I did OnlyFans, I'd probably do it with my deep voice kind of things. Doing poetry for the unhappy married women. It's like, don't worry, you won't get caught. I was like,
Don't put fishnets in garter belt. Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, my whore mermaid. She's got fishnets on, yeah, and she has a tattoo on her ass.
That's hilarious. I love it.
oh my gosh.
Well, cool. Well, I guess it has been like 3 hours, and so I'm sure you guys probably want to do other things with your life. So
why would I go to? Sorry, I'm reading your people's things. It's funny.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, well, I really do gotta go. It's an amazing time being on here and talking to you, and I loved it. I enjoyed it. We can do a Q&A, an after Springs Q&A or something in the future.
yeah, that would be good. Once everybody has a chance to watch the movie, and then we can all come back and discuss it. And whenever you're world famous and you're like, I don't have time to do your stupid Twitch show, that's going to be you.
Let's still do it. So, that's not even me. You know that?
Shut your mouth. Yeah, no, that's what I was super excited because you're like, yeah, I'll come hang out and talk about movie stuff because I'm like, it's a thing. Like, it's an interesting insight into that side of it, because I'm like, I don't talk to people that make movies, like you have your friend that shoots on a VHS camcorder back in the day, but I'm like, no, I want to talk to people that make movies. Like, I want to know things about movies, and it's been a very enlightening conversation for sure, and something that I thought we could share with the world and talk about it with other people, and it's worked out fabulously. It's been amazing. So it's super fun. I'm really glad both of you guys came on, and I know it was last minute too. Is that she'd asked you about it, and it was like, yeah, obviously we could do that. So set both of you on. Cool. Yeah, it's been super fun.
Oh yeah. Well, it's only right. He created the poem, and then we came together. He wrote a lot of it, and then we came together to co-write a little bit more. I wrote a little bit of Cat's Heart. I don't even know what I wrote, but I mean, he did the majority of it. And we both produced it, directed, acted, and yep.
I think Becca did the woman side part to make it as a realistic. So when you watch this film, like we wanted to make it both sides, both man and female, to really just see. Oh, that's relatable.
Yeah.
So she comes in, trying to make it cat relatable. I kind of make E as relatable as a guy kind of thing, and the situation itself. So
yeah. I'm excited. Like I said, I'm just reading it. Intrigue is the best. Like that's the catchphrase. Is intrigue in the world for anything? Is intrigue. Create intrigue, and people will come to you. Yeah.
Is someone president on our film? You don't think we know that, huh?
That what?
Someone asked, "What's the key grip?"
Yeah, key grip. Gaffer.
What's a gaffer? Why is the fuzzy microphone? What's a key grip? Oh.
What's the best boy? The best boy.
You're funny. Okay, I think I said that I needed to go like an hour ago.
Becca's getting delirious.
I know. I get delirious when I get crazy. I mean, you don't want that.
We don't want crazy Becca. Maybe we do. All right, you can.
I'm just keeping my mouth shut.
All right, Becca.
All right. Seriously, thank you guys. It was fun. I enjoyed this immensely.
Yes.
All right. So how do I stop?
I think you just wait for her to get.